As if the first round of the 2022 NFL draft wasn't drunk enough, let's do the hair of the dog. And let's talk about Liberty quarterback Malik Willis, who fell out of the first round, is a supreme talent, and the Vikings are sitting at number 34 overall in the second round with the second pick in the second round. So should the Vikings take a chance on the gunslinger from Liberty? Flames. That's right, man. So PFF Bet put this out. This is from FanDuel Sportsbook. The Vikings, being the team to draft Malik Willis, moved from plus 5,000 before the first round to plus 340. Now, there have been some speculation that Willis could have been a first-round pick. It could have been the first quarterback taken. Only one was taken in the first round at Kenny Pickett at 20, staying in the Steel City. But now the Vikings are kind of sitting pretty. It's a really interesting spot for the Vikes because if you look, the Vikings now have 3 selections on day 2, including 2 third-round picks. So if you don't say like burn a pick at 34 on a quarterback who potentially is going to sit and is going to be potentially the quarterback of the future, you're not really out that much. Even though the Vikings, yes, are without a 4th-round pick, but I don't know, man. Like, Malik Willis is just a dude. He's just an absolute dude. 6'1", 215, senior out of Liberty. Initially at Auburn for 2 seasons before transferring. In 2021, put the bang thing on college football. 2,857 yards passing, 27 tutties, 12 picks. Also ran for 891 yards and 13 touchdowns. A 91.6 PFF grade, leading Liberty to an 8-5 record. Also showed up and showed out the Senior Bowl. You could say that he was one of the big-time winners, just dropping dimes. Same thing at the Combine. Pros, he's got a live arm, great mobility, moxie, sure of himself, natural leader. He saw it on the field as well as the Senior Bowl and the Combine. Drawback, some inconsistencies there, some of the accuracy, meh, as well as small school competition, and also when they play big schools, and also he didn't wrestle away the job at Auburn as well, even though Auburn hasn't necessarily been a quarterback factory as of late. But I mean, I think they have to think about it. They certainly have to consider it for a number of reasons. Number one, at 34, I mean, because the Bucs probably not going to take Malik Willis, but, crazier things have happened. They do have to estate plan for after Tom Brady, even though they do have Kyle Trask on the Brewster. But at 34, the Vikings could take Willis with the intention of just keeping him. They have him compete with Kellen Mond and then see who's going to be the Vikings' future franchise quarterback if and when they move on from Kirk Cousins after the 2023 season. Or they could field all the calls of quarterback-needy teams potentially moving up. Looking at the Tennessee Titans, looking at the Seattle Seahawks, looking at the Colts potentially if they want a successor to Matt Ryan, looking at the Falcons who didn't go quarterback in round 1. So there's a lot of teams that could be plotting and just trying to get up to the top of the second round to either take Malik Willis or whatever, or the Vikings could split the baby. The Vikings could draft Malik Willis and they could keep him, or they could field calls during the rest of the draft about trading him. So the Vikings could get some day 2 draft capital, probably some 2023 draft love, maybe even being able to work a first-round pick, a future first-round pick out of the deal. So either way, it would be coming up Millhouse. So I would be perfectly fine if the Vikings wanted to go down this route. Like we said, it would be different if they only had 2 picks on day 2, but having those 2 third-round picks, including a very high third-round pick from the Lions at 66, it does make a difference because the Vikings are still going to be able to get real contributors in those 2 spots, even though they don't have a 4th-round pick. And the Vikings quarterback depth situation, so you got Kirk Cousins. He's going to be your guy for the next 2 years at least. Kellen Mond, who I love and respect, last year's number 66 overall pick, ironically. But Kevin O'Connell and Kwesi didn't draft him. It was the first time that they saw him on the field last week, and maybe they think that they could work with him. Maybe they don't. Who knows? Maybe they want their own guy, and they probably didn't even foresee Willis being available for them in the second round, where they originally slated to pick at 46. And then the Lions trade happened, so now they're in the mix at 34. Malik Willis fell out of the first round, so maybe it's a possibility. At minimum, get Beetlejuice. Sean Mannion, get his ass off the rooster. Nate Stanley is also floating around chilling. He didn't even make the infographic, but I don't know. Like, it's tempting. It really is. And sometimes these things happen in the draft. That's why wanting to go BPA is so important, because you don't know how the board is going to break. You don't know what trades are going to happen. You really don't know what opportunities you're going to be presented with. But they got to consider it. They do have to think about it. But I do have a request. Like, after Patrick Peterson moves on for the Vikings and retires, Malik Willis can't wear 7 because we've gone through too much with that number and quarterbacks with the Vikings. Too much. I mean, we peaked with Randall Cunningham in 98, and it's just been since then. But anyways, let us know your thoughts on our thoughts. The betting odds of the Vikings selecting Malik Willis. They got a lot short, which means they're saying there's a chance. But let us know your thoughts and our thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support the work, put a little something in the Venmo. But until next time, Skol, production value.